Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called New Food Rules. At the hotel I work at, I work 4 days a week at the front desk and 1 day at the bar and grill attached to the property. Every shift we work, we are given a complimentary family meal, meaning the kitchen makes something for us at 10:30 am and 4:30 pm for the day and night shift respectively. When I work at the front desk, there's always someone who can watch the front while I go get a few minutes to relax and eat, even if it's not right at 10:30. However, when I work the bar and grill, I generally don't have time to eat due to being busy serving. I used to take my meals I couldn't finish home with me after my shift, so I could eat it when I got home and not waste food. Today, we were told that we are no longer permitted to do so because they would rather we throw that food away when we aren't able to stop to sit and eat. Today, I didn't have time to do that, so I clocked out, brought my food to the back office at the front desk and sat and took my time to eat and enjoy my food. I'm not taking it off property, so technically I'm complying with the new rule. And soon, everybody else will also just use their break instead of wasting their food. The next story is called Shut Up. This happened 34 years ago when I worked as a cook/waiter in a bar. The day shift front of house manager, Lynn, was a complete know-it-all and generally treated the staff poorly. She was maybe 3 years older than me and acted as though being a bar manager was the pinnacle of power and authority. On weekends I would work 8 am to 5 pm as the lone cook, dishwasher and waiter. On Sundays in summer we held rib/chicken barbecue days. I would come in, prep the kitchen, assist with getting the 2 huge charcoal grills ready. The owner Greg liked to cook the ribs and chicken himself and handle all the orders. Lynn would arrive around 9 and I would have to give her a report of any issues which, as manager, she was responsible for addressing. One Saturday, she came in looking really rough. She was still wearing last night's freak makeup, her hair was tousled and her clothes looked slept in. I offered to make her some breakfast, but she ignored me and went behind the bar. She tried gamely to straighten her hair and makeup while I kind of stood off to the side. "What's your problem?" she snapped at me. "We are out of charcoal," I said. "It's fine," she cut me off brusquely. No. Tomorrow we have the ribs and chicken." I tried again. "I said it's fine," she snored. "Just do your job and get the kitchen ready." "I'm trying, and I'm telling you we don't have any." "Just do your job and keep your mouth shut," she yelled. "When I want your opinion, I'll ask." I stared at her for a second or two more, then shrugged and went into the kitchen. I did my job and kept my mouth shut as directed. At the end of the shift, I left with my tip money and pay envelope. Sunday, I arrived and opened the kitchen as usual. I prepped for lunch and occasionally cast a glance at the large walk-in fridge full of ribs and chicken. At 9 am, as usual, Lynn arrived and continued to treat me with brusque contempt. Notably, she did not ask me for my opinion on anything. At 11 am, Greg arrived and went outside to get the grills going. "Hey," he called. "Where's the charcoal? It's supposed to be out here." "Sorry, Greg. I think we are out." "What? What do you mean out? We can't be out." "What the heck?" I told Lynn yesterday. She told me to mind my own business. He grew very red and very silent. He nodded and went into the restaurant. I waited in the yard. A few minutes later, Lynn came storming out of the kitchen. "What the heck did you do, jerk?" Before I could answer, I heard Greg's voice shouting. I said, "Go home, Lynn." Turns out this wasn't her first such screw-up. Hundreds of dollars of ribs and chicken had to be roasted in a single oven. It was a long, hot, sweaty Sunday of disappointed customers. The third story is called Church Compliance. I'm the pastor of a small church in the United States. We have a benevolence fund that church members contribute to and is designated to help people in need, such as help with power bills, water bills, rent, etc. At the time this took place, we had about $6,000 in that fund, and we had about as much money coming in as we had going out. So the amount was more or less steady over a period of several months. The elder who was in charge of deciding who got help and who didn't somehow got the idea that we were going to run out of this fund if we were not careful. Not likely. Therefore, he came to me and said, "Pastor, I think we need to restrict our benevolence help to those that physically come to the church, not just those that call in via the telephone." He and I debated this back and forth. There was no issue about people calling in being less likely to be legitimate cases. He was just simply trying to reduce expenditures. His line of reasoning was that at some point, one of our members might need some help for something big, and we needed to make sure that we had plenty of money on hand if and when they needed it. My position was that, first, this money was given with the expectation that we use it to help as many people as possible and not just sit on most of it. And second, we had a really long way to go before we spent so much that we didn't have any left in reserve. Not wanting to die on this particular hill, I acquiesced to his suggestion. However, when people started calling in, saying that they needed help with something, I told them, okay, here's what I need you to do. Bring your bill and a photo ID to the church between such and such hours, and someone will at least talk to you. I can't promise anything more than that, but someone will at least sit down with you. Never had a single one object to coming in, and they would usually show up shortly thereafter. The church secretary, who agreed with me on this one, overheard me telling this to someone and started laughing, knowing exactly what I was doing. A few weeks later, the elder mentioned to me, you know, we are getting a lot more people coming directly to the church instead of calling in. Word must have gotten out about how we are doing this. I just replied, yep, it must have, and then I would just smile and move on. The last story is called Just Do What I Say. This happened just last night. I'm a mid-level boss for the second shift in a distribution warehouse. Among many things, I'm in charge of billing. I invoice all the orders after they are picked and loaded on trailers to be sent to the customers, keeping all the boring technical details as small as possible. The billing system is called the ASN. It is clunky, outdated, and absolutely asinine in how it operates. If one single order is missed or has an error, it will crash the system and not put through any of the orders. So one billing error will cause 400 to 700 orders, around 15 to 20 trailer loads, to not be billed or sorted to routes or sent. The orders come in 4 batches, called POs. So last night we are working on the first PO. The warehouse manager comes to me and tells me that a customer ordered late. They've generated a 5th PO just for their order, but that they are coming in person tomorrow morning and that the day shift will pick it as it's only 10 pieces. He tells me when it prints out to just set it on his desk. Don't pick it or bill it. He will handle it in the morning. I immediately tell him that if it's going to print on second shift's PO, then it will be in the system under our ASN. And that if I don't bill it, it will hit the system as a missed order and will crash the ASN. He looks at me indignantly and says it won't, because our 5th PO is after hours and will be in the system as the next day's. I tell him that's not how it works. He insists and says just do it. His shift is over and he wants to go home. I give him a hearty yes sir and go about my night. After the order was printed, I set it on his desk as instructed and sent him an email on the company computer, stating that his direct instructions had been followed. Normally, I'd have texted, but I wanted proof in the company's email. Needless to say, in the wee hours of the morning after my crew was home in bed, the ASN crashed over the missing order and just under $1 million of product was frozen in limbo. No money was charged. No customers received their pre-July 4th orders. My company ate the costs of everything. This morning, the warehouse manager called me, and to his credit, he didn't try to throw me under the bus. He just sheepishly told me I was right and what happened. He's been there forever, so I doubt he'll get fired, but I know he'll be walking with a limp after the chewing he took from corporate today. If you are going to run a multi-million-dollar operation on an antique gobber system, don't argue the one gobber who knows how to make it run. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and would like to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.